JM Race Engines is a new business in north central Missouri that have you covered from top to bottom for all your engine needs. Purpose-built engines with the correct amount of clearance will get you to the end of any show, whether it's your local shows or on the national level, where you can't be let down by your equipment. With top-level professional machine work to all engines, your choice of build is totally up to you. JM Race Engines will give you the confidence to push your equipment to the max while giving you your preferred horsepower to boot. From LS builds all the way to your exotic level small blocks that your imagination can only dream of, they have you covered.
But it doesn't stop there. They are also a speed shop that carries a variety of heads, carburetors, intakes, plug wires, helmets, and other safety equipment, and the best VP fuel on the market today to take you to the top. So if you're wanting mild build to wild build, let JM Race Engines help take you there. Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast.
I'm tired, bro.
I can tell.
I'm tired, Grandpa. I'm real tired. Sailsbury, Missouri. 2-man stock team show, 3-man mod compact show. Things got a little hairy. Kind of every which direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Not all that falls on the promoter.
Nope. A lot of that shit falls on track builders.
Yeah. Safety crew.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
So anybody who had to witness that last night, let's
break that down a little bit.
Right now I want to send some prayers out to some people.
Yeah.
That was really nasty when a car goes flying over a berm and everybody is scattering and bailing, and then somebody doesn't. He's worried about saving somebody else instead of himself. That's what we have. So lacerations everywhere. Let's just hope scans went well, because I know he went straight to the hospital. I think that's one of the Solo Boy guys, you know.
I believe so.
I think it was Doug. So, speedy recoveries to you, sir. And here's what I'm going to say. Steven, would that have happened if they'd have made their berms bigger?
No.
Would that have happened if they would have straight cut their berms?
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
And just speaking from experience, I always put up snow fence and tried to give about a car and a half.
Yep.
Did I have people come inside of it? I did.
Mm-hmm.
We were holding, as Johnny Gulo would say, K-barriers.
Yep.
On our skid loaders. And my end barriers, where I knew people would be, were always over 6 foot tall.
Yep. Yeah, as tall as we can possibly get them.
Yep.
Shit happens. I understand it's Derby. We kind of, but you don't expect that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I had a feeling when that heat started.
I had a feeling on Friday when Showtime officials they sent a Snapchat, you know, up from the tower. I could just see the walls. I was like, oh my God, something's going to happen. And then they got worse. Why did they get worse? Well,
they're not packed.
They're A, they're not packed. And B, they had a little berm in the middle. So they just pushed those dirt to the ends and didn't cut it down. Right. So they made a ramp. Well, Mr. Taurus man running Mock Jesus hit Mr. Honda Accord man.
Yeah.
And two wrongs don't make a right.
Right.
Wow.
Kelly Hewer caught collateral damage on that.
Yes, she did. She's gonna
Skid
be.
loader went plumb over that foot.
She's gonna be a sore bastard this morning.
She lost both shoes.
She's come up to me. She showed me her foot. I was like, "Holy shit, that's gonna hurt so bad." She said, "Well, I was walking barefooted." I said, "I saw that, but I wasn't gonna bring any attention to it." She said, "One of my sandals was under the skid steer. The other one was like 30 foot away."
Yeah. Well, it didn't help all the bullshit laying underneath of them either.
Yeah.
The fucking I-beam and...
What were they doing with an I-beam? That was just
like
laying
some
there.
kind of drag bar is what it looked like.
Oh, man. Yeah. I know a lot of people were pissed, but that wasn't... They were trying to put too much blame on the officials at that point in time. Well, we've talked. That track stays up year round, right?
Yeah. That is nothing but a
Derby track. They have access to skid steers. So you're telling me a month ago somebody didn't come out and work? Tell me 2 weeks ago.
Josh he'd been working on it.
He needs to work on them walls.
Yep.
Because if not, somebody's going to die.
Yeah.
Or they're going to be done.
Well, if you remember 3 years ago whenever we did it, I come in there and got the skid loader myself before we started the show.
Before 9 million gallons of water went on it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And straight cut the walls.
Yep. Never had a car
because
over.
I knew what I had there.
Yep. I think Zane T was the only one.
Yep.
He didn't get over it,
No.
but he did get on it enough to get hung.
Yep.
I was figuring after last year with, how Cody went over the wall, Cody Brown, I figured somebody would change something, but they didn't. I mean, I don't know if a big lawsuit will change that or what, but I don't think those guys will.
They won't.
That happen, I just don't never want to see something fail, especially on a derby. But you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Yep. Well, we've talked safety a lot.
Yes. We talk safety with Mark Elliott.
Well, and
I mean,
one of the big deals that drives me nuts is nobody's worried about it until something happens.
I'm gonna catch fire before I wear a fire jacket.
Yeah.
That type of shit. Lack of fire extinguishers was something major.
Yep. And that can be helped as a promoter. And I would say a lesson was learned last night. I went and personally bought 15 of the suppressant fire extinguishers.
Yep.
That we kept on hand.
Because most of the time, the officials can get to that guy
Faster.
or car way faster than any fire department can.
Than the 14-year-old volunteer firefighter.
Yes. I don't know how. That one old boy, he had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He had his pants on, no jacket, that type of stuff. But old boy lost.
Shout out to G-Rob.
Yes. Yes.
Dude run down there and crawled in the car.
Bailed off the rollback first. He's like, "Don't you put fucking water on it." And everybody was saying, "Put dirt on it. Put dirt on it." So Gary ran. He's like, "Come on." And then I see him just throwing handfuls of dirt.
Well, he bailed in there so he could get the fuel pump wires pulled off of it.
He said, "Dude, the fuel pump." He said, "I could watch it." He said, "I could still hear it."
I was up top.
Yeah, you're
video,
way up. Yeah.
And was screaming down there. Somebody needs to pull
The pump.
the pump wire. Because they had it down and out enough that hell, the motor was still trying to start. Wires melted.
Yep.
And you could hear it. It was trying to start.
Yeah, you could see the smoke. Because the shitty part about that is homeboy just lost everything. $15,000 set up probably. Because that was Jay Creed's old shit when he sold out 2 years ago.
Because it was on fire for over 3 minutes.
It burnt. Oh my God, it burnt. I didn't even look at the car. I didn't even want to go look at the car because I didn't figure anything inside of it would have been good. But that just goes to show you a good fuel cell.
Right.
Did not go kaboom. enough with the bad. Let's get into some action. How's that?
Heat number 1.
Whoo! The first online call out.
Turn.
Up.
Yes.
Friends. But they know. Jeremy said it. Be the best, you got to beat the best. He said, I'd rather have that caddy fresh than I would later.
After it gets plates.
Well, goddamn Jeremy did get it twice. Got it, had to take it in the heat, and then they got it on in the feature too.
Yep.
Mike and Hayden White, heat 2.
Yes. Kelsey.
Against Kelsey and
And Joe Martin.
Yep. / Trent Horn.
Right.
Hayden
Drove his balls off.
drove his nuts off. I thought he was going to step on it a couple times because I knew Kelsey's shit had minimal to no steering, I thought. So I think Hayden was doing that. Well,
He was trying to outlast him.
Yeah. Hit and back.
Sometimes it's
Hit
not
and move.
good.
No. Sometimes you just got to put him where he can't turn out of something.
Yep. Well, and the front end of that old iron had come up.
Up enough where it didn't come out for the consi.
It was time to go underneath of it.
He's hitting floor pans and shit. Yeah.
It was that
up.
time.
Yeah. We got to witness Tyler Pickens in a big car for the first time. He said, that's boring.
Well, I bet it was whenever the motor's flopping around while you're driving on the track.
Yeah. And I did get told that was a lot of rust. It probably shouldn't have been to a show like that. Maybe a straight up like a hobo show maybe. But he tried it.
Yeah.
I don't think he liked it. But when you're running tank compacts, you're not going to like the change to a quotation stock car.
Right.
They're not going to be able to drive it. Now, he might like a limited weld, or he might like a mod car, or, light weld, or super mod.
Right.
He might like that. But I don't think he liked that.
Dino's shit was right.
Dino's shit, of course, come rolling in at 307. Maybe that's his favorite motor, because that's about the same time he gets Evertech every show. Good looking caddy.
Yeah.
Good looking caddy. Team Thundercats. That was a little bit of flip flop, because I think his old boy's name is Luke West.
Yeah.
He was in the caddy, and Eric Reed, his teammate, was in the Ford.
Yeah.
I was figuring that would be flip flop. I talked to Eric, and Eric was like, "Man, we couldn't get that many old irons done."
Right.
He said, "I ran them before, so that's kind of what I went to." He said, and then Dad wouldn't let me use a caddy. I said, "No, you're good. You're good." Compact heats got turned all the way up. I'm going to say it right now. You did not watch a single compact heat, consi, or feature.
I did not.
We apologize. We tried to go live on that stuff. Steven has better cell phone service than I do. So when Steven walked off, I went live because you had to charge your phone. Live started pretty good. And then they got into interrupting mode. And I was missing like a minute at a time. And I was like, there's no point in this whatsoever.
Yeah, the lighting situation at Sailsbury has always been an issue.
What lighting?
Yes. There's just not there's not enough.
No, they need about, even with that, half the lights were on the poles.
Yeah.
And no light plants.
Right.
So either put some new bulbs up or rent some light plants.
Been there.
Because you can't see shit.
Pits.
Yuck.
Yeah.
None. Nolan fucking void.
The action and the feature, dude.
That was legit. That was legit. I wasn't expecting that.
Are you shitting me? You weren't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting all of that. I was expecting a few teams kind of chill a little bit
Oh, dude.
and let the lesser built, you know what I'm saying?
I wish I would have said it on the live because Alexa and then that were standing up there where I was videoing at were asking me what's going to go on. I was like, well, I called it 100%. You take 5-6 cars that were built out of the same shop.
Oh, yeah. I knew those were going to stick. I knew that.
Two out there that weren't running with anybody.
Yep.
I said those would be the first ones. And then the pecking order started from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Team DMP, Jake Reed and George Turpin got the win. Team Thundercats,
Second.
Eric Reed and Luke Wex got second.
Fisherbuilt.
And Mr. Jacob Knowles in third.
Yeah.
Hayden did Hayden shit, kept hanging in there. I'm not sure where they went out in that pecking order. Jeremy and Lane Baker, same way. Russell Shaw, they were kind of in that short straw of pecking order.
Yeah.
Not all the teams showed up. If all the teams were there, that might have changed some stuff.
Yes.
I think that
I don't know that it would have changed the outcome.
because I think the pecking order would have still been the same.
Yeah.
You know, until you throw. Well, you look at a team like C.J. Barnes and Avery Hunault, who were actually signed up.
Right.
You throw them in the mix, and that could change.
You got 2 more hammers.
Yeah, hammers, where that pecking order might not have stayed quite the same. But,
Well, and people are going to say I'm kissing his ass or whatever. Jake Reed went out there and put on a clinic.
yes, with a Mad Dog. He got the Mad Dog as well.
Yeah. I'm not saying that there wasn't a couple other guys out there that was laying the hammer, but he was clearing the track.
He laid the hammer in the heat, and then from the start of the feature.
Yeah.
And never stopped.
Never stopped.
That's a Mad Dog.
Yes. And precision.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, making sure he's hitting people square.
Oh.
Making sure he's hitting at a 45 with the center of his bumper. Exactly.
Junk and shit that come out of his shop.
Yes. 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 That car got annihilated, and I'm sure Jake helped build it.
So, I mean, that right there is Mad Dog.
Yep. Yep. It is.
Because it did not matter. Whatever was in front of him.
He hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care.
I mean, Jacob ran up the ass of him, and I was like, oh, he's going to get him back on that.
Oh, Knowles. And it was quick to get spun that bitch back around.
Oh, Jake
and then
looked
drive.
over his shoulder and was like, oh, okay. I'll be back in just a second.
It's like, now it's time.
Well, he stopped doing what he was doing.
Spun that 180-inch wheelbase bitch around.
All the way up the ass end of that Ford. I mean, all the way up.
The Ford looked pretty good in the ass, actually, for a Ford until that point in time. And then he just whale-tailed that bitch. But
And all bullshit aside, man, every nose-to-nose hit, sparks flying.
yes. Yes.
I mean, hell, at the end of it, I was waiting for him to turn around and jump his
George.
teammate.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if he's going to stop.
Which that was kind of talked about on the rollback. Jake's never been that guy to kind of keep his nose clean, kind of stay away from the action a little bit, and just kind of pick your own battles. Jake is always that motherfucker who is in that, who was in that battle, who was in that shit.
Yeah, because there was a point in the feature, I was like, man, is he using too much?
Yeah, because I never really saw George. George was picking his battles at the other end. Usually on a team setting, you'll stick a little bit closer together. But in that same token, you got one guy in a Ford and you got one guy in a caddy, and the caddy is doing caddy shit, right? Just all up in everybody's business. George kept that Lincoln clean until the end. And then you saw when it got down to roughly 6 cars.
Yeah.
Then you hear an extra motor coming in. Then you see another number coming in. You're like, well, where in the hell did he just come from?
And like I said, I at one point I didn't know if he was going to have enough for the end of it.
Yeah.
And then he was still steering it. And I was like,
We were walking up to the track as you were going up to the tower, and it was me and Danny Hobbs, Tyler Verdon, Gary Robinson, I think a couple other guys. Oh, Rob here. Gary looked at me and goes, "Who's going to win it?" I was like, dude, I can't bet against him. He's like, who? I was like, Jake. He's like, okay, you take Jake, I'm going to take Eric. He said, I think Eric's got enough car, he's going to win it. After he got done, I looked at Gary and I said, and he's like, can't bet against him. You know, just Jake doing Jake stuff. The compacts. Wow. You didn't watch them, but I sure the hell did. Derek Dudley, Cody Bedsworth, Tyler Pickens, doing Dillagaff shit. Woof. You had a team of Osmers there. You had a team of Solo Boys there. You had a team of F Cancer from Wisconsin. Not the F Cancer that we think about when you watch Gold Rush or
Right.
Vision Bash or whatever, but it was their cars. Those cars had been bought by these guys who came down last year. They didn't like the outcome of the heat. They kind of spoke their piece to everybody, including the officials. Leave it to little car guys. Leave it to the mod guys.
I still have no clue what you're talking about.
They were wide open. ZFG, Brady, Smith, Logan Adams, their team, wide open. Dillagaff, wide open. Lagnaff, wide open. Trent Llewellyn, Brooke Lopez, Ronnie Pickens. Just wide open. And Tyler and, well, Mr. Cody. Mr. Cody did Cody shit. Normal. And they pulled out the win, so congratulations to them guys.
The gut and go.
What'd you say? This son of a bitch is going to take 4 hours. I said, why? He said, there's 30 of them. And there was a few sedans with a whole lot of vans.
Yeah.
As we have grown to be accustomed to see.
Yeah.
Garrett Baker. This is twice. 3 times. 3 times this year in 3 derbies. With 2 firsts and a second. That's pretty good winning percentage.
He said he had some bills to pay.
Did he? That is where we saw the unfortunate event of Ejecto Traco.
Oh, holy shit, dude. We got to see helmets come off.
We're standing there, you and I are standing there, and I'm trying to video, and because they've told us we couldn't be on the wall anymore.
Right.
Well, some asshole did.
Yeah.
About that time you said, holy shit, tell me you got that. I swear this old boy's helmet went out the passenger window.
No, 100%.
Still connected to his fucking head.
Yes. Yeah, dude, I watched him pick himself up off the passenger floorboard.
Oh.
I looked over at Trey Hewer and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why is he laying down? Get up.
Oh, I promise you he's feeling that bitch right now.
Oh, yeah. But he's questioning life decisions.
Horrible this. I'm not getting in another
And
van.
I did almost get to see a van turn another van over.
Yep. Yeah. We almost got, well, I think that was just kind of the pace of the show because Compact almost got over on its lid.
It was, I don't know. That shit was, that, yeah. Them gut and goes, man. They're so dangerous. They just, and I've said it and said it and said it. You can't cut the class because whenever you only have 15 cars show up, they will make the show. Like, they will 100% show up. And when they do show up, they bring 97 people per car. And that's how you fill the stands. I mean, so if you've got 6 cars, you'll have 942 gut and goes, and then you've got 3,000 people in the stands.
That is the thing about those gut and goes is because not one of them guys give two shits.
No.
And 95% of them aren't there to win. They're either A, the old boy who got launched. It's his first time ever in a car.
Yeah.
Never run before. He said that right to us. And you can tell as he was sitting in that car, he ain't right.
Well,
He was wound the fuck
what
up.
gets me is they pushed this dude over the wall. And to get him in said situation, he had it in fucking reverse, and the dude was pushing him backwards. Where the fuck do you think he was going to go? I mean, seriously, at that point in time, like, are you like, oh, yeah, fuck it, I'll go backwards with him. Let's both go that way.
I think he was trying to get the hell out of the way and maybe turn first.
There was
But I don't
no,
think he had it.
yeah, it doesn't work like that. But that's what happened in the gut and go.
It did. I'm not sure if we're going to be honest with this, guys. I don't know if they'll have another one there.
I don't know.
I really don't. A lot went in to the whole situation. You know, a car on fire for, what'd you say, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
People in the stands getting hurt. I think lack of maybe order. I never saw cops there until shit happened.
Right.
I never saw the cops. I never saw an ambulance.
It was there. I did figure that out. It was there. They walked over there for some fucking reason.
Yeah, as people were screaming,
Yeah.
waving, ripping their own shirts off to do tourniquets to this old boy's head.
Yeah.
Like I said, get well.
Yes.
Everybody involved in that. Mama Kelly. I think there was a younger kid.
And guys, you all can quit coming up to us and asking us to start putting shows on again. Like,
You know, just one a year. No. That's the reason why.
yeah,
Don't want no part of that
I
shit.
don't want to deal with that. You know, because there was a couple times Huff and them come up. What would you do? Nah. Nope.
I wouldn't have. I don't know. There are just some situations that, like I said, a lot of it I can't put on Showtime officials.
Right.
I'm gonna say 3/4 quarter,
Yeah.
but a quarter of that did go back on them a little bit on some choices and the decisions made. That's on them.
It's really hard to take human error out of a human run
Yes.
situation.
Yes. Well, let's put the stamp on that one.
Yep. Congratulations, Jay Creed.
Yep. Twisted T.
Yep.
Congratulations, Garrett Baker. Congratulations, Dilligaff. Cody Bedsworth. Big D, who's now a neighbor of mine.
Yeah.
And Tyler Pickens. Tyler, do better in the big car. Do better in the big car. Because I think if you ever build one
That's not that.
I think you'll enjoy it a little bit better. So, one thing that stamp, right?
Yes.
I think we've got to the place which you and I have talked about where people start reaching out to us a little bit.
Yes.
It's kind of always been that way on the local side, but not so much on the national side. So when we said a couple weeks ago that we were going to have some guests, kind of from all over, this is one of them. So let's make a phone call.
Yep.
And we will be right back.
Since Justin has been on board with us at Hard Nose, we have figured out how much Broadhead Decals means to the sport of demolition derby. His great quality parts are seen from coast to coast and everywhere in between.
But he can do more than just derby products. Your everyday business may need some pep in its step with new banners or stickers. And just give him an idea and let him run with it. Whether it's business related or just want to look badass in the winner circle, let Broadhead Decals work for you.
Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for demolition derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with zero limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's.
We just said we make a phone call. How about all the way from Wisconsin, Hollywood himself, Mr. Derek Kreitlow. Derek, what's up, Bubba?
Just hanging out, building cars.
Building cars. Because I think that's kind of all the hell you do.
Yeah, I mean, I started my own business or whatever, and doing the normal auto repair stuff too. But I'd rather be building cars every day if I could, because to me it's less stressful. But
so, since you have started said business, I have been told that your car building business has gone through the roof.
I gotta kind of base it off of what time I have right now, just being I have my own stuff too to do. But I have 2 or 3 cars yet, and then obviously I built 2 at the beginning of the year, which did pretty good. Most people have seen the wagon I built for Cody Knuth, my best friend. That's been ran 3-4 times now, and he's gonna run it again at Massacre. So, and then I don't even think he's used the front of it yet. So,
well, that means he's driving it the way he's supposed to drive it. Then,
yeah.
Driving a wagon the way God intended.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Cody Knuth, dude, did you build the? You didn't build the compacts that they took to Cornhusker Chaos.
No, they had a friend. I think one of Ethan's friend out in Nebraska built them for him because Cody had to bring his mod and that wagon or whatever for the 2 classes, and he just didn't have time or the room to bring 3 cars. So I think they had a buddy out there do that. So,
well, you always hear, of yourself and Cody Knuth and Ethan Beamer, being on RPM Redemption 2.0.
Yes.
You guys team up. You guys split a little bit from your normal RPM Redemption that you would always run at Blizzard Bash.
Yep.
You guys do 2.0. You go to Gold Rush the first year in 2023 and pull out a fat win. And I'm going to guess that was probably your biggest win to date.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, to be honest, I've only won probably 4 derbies in my whole career, to be honest. I didn't win a whole lot of big stuff. Obviously, when I first started in 2009 in the Future Icon class for Derby Icons, I won that first show and got hardest hitter. And back then, my main goal was just the junk stuff. I mean, I just didn't care what happened, and I wanted to have fun, and which I still do, is have fun and stuff like that. But there was no point intending on winning. And I think I only won a couple county fairs around here, and yeah, Gold Rush is definitely the top of my list for winning. So, I mean, I think we were predicted not to win that show, and we definitely had the hard road going there. So,
Well,
I was there. I got to watch that.
yeah, you got to watch that. I had to watch that one from home because I had COVID. But I'm not going to lie to you, Hollywood. I didn't have you guys pick to win that. I had Iron City Promotions to pick to win that. But when you have, Steve Siopa and Toast and Rhett Galooey and Joey Pernice, those guys are really, really hard to bet against.
yeah.
And then, holy shit, you guys just started rolling through your heat, and you had so much momentum. Once it got down to the end, I was questioning my guess, and then you guys just blowed my guess out of the water.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, obviously we had some friends in the first heat or whatever, and it was kind of simple for us. They just had bad luck, and then we had Derby Nation the next heat, which we knew it was going to be a hard one to beat with Gage and them guys, and we made it through that. And our mentality was just keep doing what we're doing, because that was the first time I've ever drove with any of those three. I never drove with Cody other than a compact heat around home. But me and Cody have never ran together until that point, really. And Steven and Ethan, I've never drove with until Gold Rush that year. I've never been on the track with them. I just talked to them, and I knew they ran together because Ethan's actually married to Steven's sister, so they ran a couple times around home or whatever together. But we've never actually been on the track as a team. So as great as we work together, that show is incredible. And everyone said since then the chemistry we have between us is just crazy. I mean, it all worked out. So,
well, we've talked about it a bunch on here. You can actually tell within the first 3 minutes of a team heat how a new team's going to drive together, and it's almost like that through the entirety of the team.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like we said, you have everyone always tries to make it a game plan going out there. And it usually never works that way. But we just know how each other drive and how we're going to drive, and we just know what's going to happen between us, and the flow always goes good. So, I mean,
and I think what makes really great chemistry is you guys, all four of you, don't look for that one shot. You are looking ahead at the other shots and actually anticipating what your other guys are going to do. You guys aren't getting involved in friendly fire, which we see a lot. You're not knocking each other's wheels off. You're not creasing somebody's quarter on your own team, which we see a whole lot in team settings like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this year we don't have Steven, I guess. He's done derbying for a while, I guess. So we actually required Kenny Rosno is actually on our team for this fall. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So his saying, "Hey, I'm derbying with you guys," was at Madison this year. He kind of had our same roof signs. He had the RPM Redemption Rad Guard on his car at Madison, and that was his saying, "Hey, I'm on the team this year." So yeah, we're happy to have Kenny this year. He actually he's a really big part of why we made it as far as we did at Gold Rush that first year. The heat we went against Derby Nation, Cody got cleared by Ryan Songalewski, and when he did that, it actually broke the timing chain on Cody's motor, and it bent some valves. And since Kenny's team was out, they actually pulled Kenny's motor out of his car at the Derby and gave it to Cody to run for the rest of the weekend.
So how much adding a hammer and I'm not saying Steve Sherman ain't a hammer, but adding the wide openness of Uncle Kenny, what does that do to your team?
I mean, the big talk has been trying to calm Kenny down just a hair. Because Ethan already does Ethan things. So, I mean, Steven was more of a driver, I would say, than a hammer, but he was also very good at what he did. And then Kenny's a very good hammer, too. But we got Ethan already kind of doing that, so we're trying to balance that out a little bit. But I think it'll be really good. We all get along great. That's the biggest thing, and that's what you need in the pits and everywhere. So, I think it'll be pretty good.
Let's get into it, dude. Why did you decide that you wanted to be in this badass sport?
So, I need to thank my dad for that, I should say. I I mean, since I was a little boy, and my dad did it around home every fair time, during the summer. He always derbied. He did obviously a lot easier stuff, knock the windows out, chain the doors, and stuff like that. But I grew up every summer building cars with him, and then finally, and first year actually went to a big show. Would have been 2005 with my dad and one of his friends down in Oregon, Illinois, when actually Charlie Perrine had the promotion stuff yet.
Yep.
And there was Spring Explosion, Metal Mayhem were the two shows that actually were put together that year. And that was the first big show I ever watched, and it's just mind-blowing to see what the sport evolved even then, compared to now. It was unbelievable. But back then, seeing that stuff, we don't see that stuff around home, when you go down there and you see that kind of stuff, it was just incredible. And when I turned 14 in 2009, my dad gave me the chance to run that fall brawl or whatever, and ever since then I've been doing it. So he actually gave me the choice that summer, because we watched a lot of dirt track racing around home too. He either said he'd help me start derbying myself or help me get a race car started, and I picked the derby stuff. So
Good choice.
You picked the cheaper side, I promise you.
I don't know about that nowadays, but yeah.
Well, I got corrected as I was talking with Steve at Derby Nation at Cornhusker Chaos. I never knew that you ran Derby Icon stuff. So when you go to Calvin's Wrecking Crew this year at Spring X 2025, that was your first time back in, 6-7 years?
Yeah, so last time I was at Spring X would have been 2017. We were, when they still had the heavier cars. It was actually Team Liliana. We were purple and white that year. And it was me, Brandon Bovey, Jacob Prusman, and Sam Bandow were actually on a team together that year. We dominated the heat. That was the year they had a monsoon of rain, like normal.
Oh, and you were derbying in 2 foot of water that was standing on the track?
That was the year Ski Inc. won in the soup hole track they had. I actually had to change the tranny out for the heat in the mud, and then went out in the feature. I made 2 hits, and my distributor wire came off the distributor, so I didn't get to do anything the rest of the feature. But my teammates got down there quite a bit, but we didn't place or anything. But the first year I actually ran Spring X would have been 2013 would have been the first year Spring X, and then I ran 4 or 5 more years after that.
Well, how was the return?
That was good. I mean, I actually inspected there 3 years ago. I helped tech, which was fun. Just I run my own county fair or whatever in our hometown, and I don't know. I enjoy doing the county fair because I know everyone and stuff. It was kind of hard for me to get in the groove of teching down there because I didn't know much for people, as in helping wise.
Yeah.
But no, it was great. I mean, Kelvin's Wrecking Crew was a great group of guys. I mean, obviously we got a rough draw the first heat. But it seems like they always get a rough draw the first heat.
Well, now I'm going to ask that. Does that, when it's a draw such as that, which God and everybody knows, you guys drew EPR right off the bat, does that change your mentality of, the team that you draw? Does that change your mentality? Does that change your driving style?
I mean, a little bit. Kind of. Sometimes, obviously we know they're a team that's going to come out really, really swinging right away, so we kind of have to keep that pace up and come out swinging. Some of us figured our cars were going to be junk afterwards, but we were hoping to be on top yet, but obviously we had some bad luck, and our stuff was tore up. And it's been a long time since I've been rocked like that, so, it was... I think I seen all the fins on my tranny cooler to my right, but
he was counting cooler blades.
Yeah, I was making sure it was all cleaned out and stuff.
Well, you can always thank the other team for that.
All my battery cables were still tight. I made sure of that when my face was right there.
They were just trying to help you out.
Yeah, that was. And then I get out of the car afterwards, and everyone's like, I haven't seen old man get that crazy in the heat in a while. And I'm like, well, I don't know what I did to him, but I must have hit him in the front tire in like 10 seconds, and I must have made him mad at me, which whatever was fun. I knew he was the guy that was going to be there at the end, so I had to hit him when I had my chance. And yeah, I ticked old man Lemminger off, the Godfather. got a repercussion on that one. So, but no, it's after he hit me and about rolled me, I got back down on my wheels and I looked over and I seen all their cars still going, and I seen Brian sitting over there still moving. I'm like, all right, put it in drive, I guess. Put her in drive. Got a couple more, backed up, and I seen he wasn't moving. I'm like, maybe a couple more seconds, and then PJ got me another good one. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should have saved the car.
Well, you said there save the car, but
it was beyond saving at that point in time already.
That car was bad after the heat, and I had no idea that you guys were going to bust your ass all night long to do what you guys even made it look like, because it on Consi Day, it didn't look nothing like it has been through the war that it was on the day before.
I mean, I told them, which a lot of people, like even Steve said, I wouldn't have built it, I wouldn't have fixed it. But there isn't a time I will ever go and do a derby and I say I can't do it unless I physically can't afford something or get something that's broke, that's very expensive. I will not give up. Like, if the car's fucking junk, I will somehow fix it and get it back out there some way possible. I don't, I go do this because I love the sport so much. I'm not going to just quit,
Yep.
And what we had to go through that day was, I got on that. They had a rollback, thank God. Kelvin's Wrecking Crew guys did, and we put it up on there to pull it down and stuff. And actually, once I got it up on the rollback, my belly rail exploded. It wasn't even attached to the back rail anymore on the passenger side, so I actually had to pull the back frame forward or back and separate it, get it straightened back out, get it back welded. And then I had the front actually overlapped itself at the firewall, so I pulled that back down and we completely redid the whole front suspension. I just started all over and put all that back on it, and it's good to go.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a long time since I had a car that junk in one heat. So.
Well,
was it at least fun?
I had a great time. Other than my seatbelt not working in the Constellation either, that was not fun, but it was a good time. I went out there for the national anthem, and my seatbelt worked driving out there. I unclicked it to get out of the car for the national anthem, got back in it, and the little red button, a piece fell down in the crack, and I couldn't see it, and I couldn't lock it back in. And I didn't want them to see me, so I didn't get in trouble. So I stopped fucking with it, and just let it go, and it was good, and until old man Heyman was stuck on his bumper, and I thought he was out. So I went to the other side of the track, and he came flying all the way across the track and ass-packed me, and I hit my head so hard on the roof. It's been so long since I've seen stars like that. And I looked around, and I'm like, all right. So I spun around, and that's when I hit him a few times in the back. I think his back tires were off the ground. But, yeah, I don't recommend the whole no seatbelt thing. That ain't that fun.
So, you have ran Gold Rush. You guys have won Gold Rush. You went back and you damn near repeated at Gold Rush.
Yep.
You guys have ran Blizzard Bash.
Yep.
You have ran Spring X.
Yep.
So the first time I really started paying attention to you was at Blizzard Bash, because metric caddies were not a thing to watch the last several years. But you going... what made you want to run a metric caddy?
Gross.
To what you're building now.
So originally, I always watched Kenny. Actually, Kenny built quite a bit of metrics back in the day, and I always enjoyed it. I love seeing different cars. I hate seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. That's just not me. Obviously, to win, sometimes you got to have the same car, and per the rules, are usually better. But anyway, I went that first couple years of Blizzard Bash with Rivies, and they were still my favorite car. But the price of them just got crazy, like everything else. And I I don't make $1 million, and everything I have extra goes into the sport. And I mean, the year we won Gold Rush is the first time I actually had a name brand engine, and I still have good parts, but I don't go overkill on anything. And that was the year we were getting married. Actually, it was going to be the year COVID hit. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, what do I want to run? I don't want to go spend $3,000 on a car and blah blah blah. And I actually started talking to Tyler Reed a little bit because I had this idea. I want to build a metric GM for Blizzard Bash, and he's ran 1 million of them. I know in the lighter stuff, but he asked us questions like, which one would you think would be the best per those rules being what we're allowed, and blah blah blah. He told me to go find a 90 style bubble caddy because the belly rails are more boxed than the square ones, and other than the wagon, they're more boxed because the whole wagon's obviously boxed in the middle, but a sedan had to be the farthest one that's boxed in the middle. I'm like, okay. So I finally found one, and I got it home or whatever, and we had COVID, so I didn't build it for a year. And then 2021 was the year I ran it, and I was like, well, we're going to give her a shot. It's all new to me and whatever, and I didn't know what to expect at the back, being how thin everything is compared to an older GM, and it did really good. My motor just didn't hold up, and then I actually got rocked in the door pretty hard, or half door, half fender, whatever, and hurt my arm pretty good that consolation round, which sucked. But the car did great. I sold it to someone else, and then obviously I came back with the 2-door metric caddy, and that thing was actually a pretty hard car. I mean, there's obviously things I learned a lot.
Don't say pretty hard. Don't say pretty hard.
I,
that motherfucker was a rock, dude.
There was some things I learned on that one again from the other one, and every time I've built one, I've learned a little bit more. That one actually did bend a little bit in the horn, in that feature, and it actually broke my steering. That's what broke the steering. But the back, I didn't do no dimples, no nothing. I just let it stay straight, and I was hoping and praying it'd stay up, and it didn't ever actually move. The only thing that actually crinkled was the back of the frame where the bumper was welded, flattened down a little bit, but the frame rails never moved on in the back because I figured, like the year before, I wanted to roll, which it actually started rolling really nice on that bubble caddy, but then it got caught and ripped back down, and it fell off, so that actually made it worse. So I figured this year I'd just see what happens, leaving it straight, and it worked out good. But I love the way they look. I love the way they drive. I just haven't built one in a while because most people, when I tell them I want to run a metric GM with their on the team or whatever, they give me that weird look and go, "You're an idiot." But I mean, that's what the Colossus kind of did to me. Like, you sure you can make one hard enough? And I'm like, well, we're gonna find out, And I mean, it worked out good. I mean, obviously, you learn everything more every time you run one. But they'll never be older GM, I don't think. I mean, there still can be really hard cars. I mean, obviously for Blizzard Bash rules, you pretty much get so much anyway. You can make a frickin' anything hard. I mean, It's just the way the rules are.
I won't buy another one, so you don't have to worry about me honing in on the market.
Yeah, Steven is not ever going to buy another one, so that's just another one that you can get.
But I mean, now that they're going up in price with everything else, it's not even worth, that's why I was doing it, because they were cheaper, they're a little easier to find and stuff like that. But now they're getting up there in price for some reason, too. You might as well just spend the money on the stuff that's really good to me and just run those. But one day I want to run another one around home. I still love them. They're still fun cars to build.
Just don't back into the dirt with them.
No. But
without a hump plate.
Yeah, no. So, and I mean, I ran one that same year. I ran my 2-door caddy at Blizzard Bash. I ran a 2-door caddy at a local show, and we were allowed no protection, no nothing. But we got an 8-inch bumper bracket, and they're not as clear on. Obviously, local shows sometimes don't know the cool stuff we think of. So they had no frame seam welding size for the frame seam. So I had a frame seam weld that was 1.5 inches tall by 1.5 inches wide, all the way from the bumper to the firewall mount. And the face they gave me when I got the tech was, "Really? You're gonna do this?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, he didn't say." He's like, "Well, I don't need to add 2 more pages to, make this stuff more clear. I said it'd been 3 more words.
Half
Gave me
inch.
that look like
No bigger than half-inch
Inch
weld.
weld. That's
Yeah.
5. That not 3 pages.
I mean, like okay, and he wanted me to blow it, like cut it all off, and I'm like, well, I mean, I beat your rule, whatever. And the lead tech guy's like, no, just come here, and then he actually made me cut some slices in it and whatever not, and went out there and junked the old iron GM in the front, and then I bet mine pretty good too, but I was using it, and then junked another one in the back, or with the front of mine at the back of theirs. I junked them, and they got stuck, and then they went out the feature. It was doing really good. It was locked in the front. It wasn't bending much more, and my slider actually, the bolt pulled out of the tranny. So, but the back end rolled really nice and everything. I had I think an 18-inch home plate on and everything, but I triple notched it on that one, and it worked out really good in the back. But that'd be the last year I ran a metric, was 2022.
Well, all the places that you have gone, which it's a lot, big shows. Are you surprised about how everything is progressing? We always say 3 to 5 year cycles, shit just kind of moves around. But now you're talking about cars doing this cycle as well, where you could get that metric GM, and then nobody wanted 9802s. Everybody wanted 3s and up. And then everybody outlawed the 3s and up. So 9802s pull up again. And now you see everybody and their dog running old iron GM.
I mean, I definitely see the rules getting lighter again. But it makes that cycle, like you said. I mean, like Bash for Cash kind of lightened it back up for a while, and now it's starting to get more and more again for the team heats and stuff like that. And I think the biggest thing I've noticed lately is the single shows aren't big as the team shows anymore. Like a team show is just the show now, because I feel like all these shows that used to be big on a single show are turning into team shows, just because it keeps everyone more involved, and the action's a lot better. And I mean, I get it. I'm never gonna pick on anyone or say anything on anyone on that track. Everyone has their own right how they drive, and yes, everyone wants to win, and stuff like that. But the people in the stands don't understand that sometimes, and that's what's killing the single shows, I think, is these people don't understand the dedication, the time, and all that stuff you put in your car, and you're in that seat trying to win. You're going to drive how you want, and some of the times it's actually really cool watching how some of them guys drive. They're so tactical with their hits, their driving. It's just unbelievable how some of those people do that. Like Muse, you got see how many shows he's won last year. I've been watching him more and more, just more in depth on how he drives. He stays so calm, and you get some of those guys that kind of get a little wound up, and then that's when shit goes south. But if they can keep their mentality down, it's unbelievable. I mean, like Bobby Whitaker, I've been watching him since I was little, like I said, when I went down south to all those big shows, and it's just unbelievable what they can do in a heated moment, like Bobby had 7 guys in that bone stock class after him at Madison, and he held his own probably almost to the end, it's the stuff like that just gets me excited, but the crowd doesn't understand that, I don't think.
You're correct.
And then they talk about how mod cars don't, they're just bumper cars. I'm like, you realize, these things actually do bend, right? They just don't look that bad. But then when you have to keep running it, it saves us time than building a new car. Which sucks, because I wish there was more shows, especially by me. I have nothing by me. When I run a Gold Rush car, Blizzard Bash car, Bristol car, anything like that, I have 0 places other than 3-4 hours away from me to run them. I have nowhere, at all, other than my county fair, which I promote, so I don't run it. But it just sucks, because I have legitimately 4 cars sitting out back that I can't do anything with. So it's a lot of time building those cars, and you don't want to get rid of it.
You are not the only person that has actually emphasized the situation that you were talking about right now. We've got guys around here that went to Bristol, run the pro light side, the same as you, and we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 close to us that car will never run again, unless it's somewhere around home. So they were actually trying to get one county fair to run that class. But the problem is that you guys got, I'm going to say, $30,000 in a car. You're not going to go run that thing for $1,500.
No, the tires cost more than that nowadays.
Yeah, $5,000 you might pique some interest, but not a lot of county fairs are just going to throw 5 G's at one class.
No, I mean, like my county fair, I mean, I do a lot for, it's very stressful. I kind of wish sometimes I didn't have to deal with it, but if I didn't do it, my dad used to do it all the time, a long time ago, and he kind of gave it to me or whatever, and I feel like if I didn't do it, we wouldn't have it anymore, but the fair board only understands, they've been paying the same amount of money for like the last 20 years, I'd say.
Since 1993.
They don't understand that everything's obviously went up in the world, but the builds, the time, the parts, everything that goes into these cars now, they don't understand that. They just don't get it. So they only give me like $6,000 to put like 5 or 6 different classes up. Okay, that don't go very far.
No.
So I actually go out of my way every year and try getting local people, derby parts, stuff like that to donate to the show, because I want the drivers to come for a reason. I don't want to just make them come here and wreck their shit and then make nothing. I mean, obviously we always never really make anything, but the point of it, like, you actually want to come for something, and we're never going to have cars come if we don't have that initiative of a good payout. So the last couple of years, I've actually doubled it. So like, they gave me $6,000 every year. I've made another $6,000-7,000 on my own just to get the show to go every year, to keep it going. And the last 3 years, it's slowly grown more and more and more, but it's a lot on me, especially now with my own business, doing my own derby stuff. It's a lot in a year for me to take on, trying to get all that extra money every year. And I just don't like being a person like, hey, can you donate some money to help the derby? I don't want to ask that all the time. It just kind of sucks, but I'm very thankful all these people do that, because if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have a show, in my opinion. But like the first year, I had $15,000 in payout, and obviously $8,000 I went around myself and did it myself, and then I try getting banners made just to kind of support those people and companies that helped, and show them their recognition and stuff like that. I mean, there's not a lot of people that go do that for county fair anymore around here. I mean, it's a lot on me, and then I'm one of the more knowledgeable ones, I guess, in the club that helps us do that for how the sports evolve. So I'm pretty much in tech, lead guy tech, have to be there all day. I'm on the track, in charge the whole day. It's a lot on a guy, for one person. And I'm thankful my friends are slowly helping more and more now a little bit, not running as much and on that stuff, and it just keeps that burden off of me, because I almost dread every summer just trying to, because I still haven't did the rules. Like, there's a few things I want to update on the rules for this year, and I haven't had a chance to do it. And then people ask about payout. Well, I don't know what the payout is going to be until I get that total again, and it's just a lot.
Well, that's why there's so many promoters in this country have said fuck this and walked away.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to hold hands up and say that, because it is just too much. Because what a lot of these guys don't understand is you do have a full-time job. You have your own business. Plus you're running. Plus you're married. Plus you got kids. Yeah. And then, you want to throw $6,000 out to get 50, 60 cars to show up. What the fuck do you think $6,000 is going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
And then you hear, and then, I hate doing it. I hate talking about it like that, but like, then you hear what like a fair brings in. Like you hear what they actually bring in for the whole week. It's like, I think you guys can help a little more. Like, I mean, I get you want to deal with your animal shit, whatever, in the barns and stuff like that, which is more important, the auctions and stuff, whatever. The people come for anything with an engine in them grandstands. I don't care what it is.
Yep. If
you have truck pulls, you got motocross racing at a fair, you got derbies, you got anything that has a motor, that's where the people come and spend their money. They'll never change,
Yep.
And they don't understand that. So
I think it's going to take these county fairs to lose that, to realize, oh shit, we just lost a lot. So we need to start paying out more to get this show back to where you would want it to be.
Yeah. I mean, it was getting pretty low there for a while for car count. And, I mean, the first year I was in charge, that had a decent, bigger payout. I had 60 some cars that year, which is really good for us between 5 classes. And I want to say last year was 55 cars, but for some reason I get so many full size. There's a lot. Most of the stuff around us is compacts and vans and stuff like that nowadays. But I got almost 20 or so full size between the two classes of stock. Well, actually, I had 22 stock full size cars in my stock class last year, which is unbelievable. But then we had the limited well, which is pretty much Gold Rush rules mixed with everything. I allow either you can have a full Kreitlow or kickers, because some people don't have full Kreitlows, so I let them have kickers. We had 10 cars in that class too. I mean, for around here, that's unheard of, and if I can keep it going, I'm hoping it keeps. Every year I have more people asking me about stuff, That's why I don't want to quit, because now I'm actually got the train going in the right direction, and I just don't want to stop now. But
yeah. Well, dude, I completely forgot. You ran Bristol.
Yeah.
First time show. My co-part next to me, he took and went down and run the Elite Light class. He really enjoyed the show. How about you? Is it something that you guys want to turn around and try to go back in 26, or is it something, well, we've done it once, we're done with it?
No, I'm happy with how it went last year. I thought it was amazing. I mean, that facility, Gold Rush facility is amazing. Like, that place is awesome. But, like, just to be at a place like that, like Bristol, is unreal. I mean, it's a fact, the atmosphere, obviously a lot of people talk crap about it because there was no one there, but the show that was great, the facility was great. I don't know how many times, I've never been anywhere where you can sit there and work on your car and watch the mega screen and still watch the Derby and still work on your car at the same time. That was awesome. Like, that was the coolest thing ever. I didn't even actually sit in the grandstands very often. I actually sat in our lawn chair at our pits and watched it on the big Megatron, just because it was just so cool. I mean, you'll get that nowhere. I mean,
you and about 200 other people.
It's 18 hours. It's 18 hours for me to get down there, which is a very long time. I mean, that's a long trip for me. And but once you get down to that direction, the scenery is actually good. You're in the mountains. You're driving through the hills and stuff like that. It's a really cool experience, other than coming home and my tire coming off my truck going 70 down the interstate. But that's something you don't have to worry about right now. But no, I loved it. I mean, obviously the first time show, there's a lot of hiccups we had to get through. There's a lot of people that talked crap about the show, and I mean, as a driver, I enjoyed it. Like I said in one of my posts a long time ago, I don't do this for like the drama, the bullshit, or whatever. I will go anywhere where I think the sport could grow. And the vision that Dustin and the group of us have, I should say, is very good. I mean, there's a lot that it could go somewhere. I believe it can. It's just there's a lot in the sport that's making it not go anywhere. Yep. And but I will go anywhere that Derby is. I mean, what else am I ever going to say? I went to Bristol's NASCAR track and Derby. I mean, I don't care about the rest of the stuff at that point in time. I just want a Derby at NASCAR's Bristol track for one time. And this year, obviously, I want to go back, because my family's actually going this year, so they get to experience it, because last year they didn't get to go. But I just want a Derby. Like, where else do you get a Derby like that, And I think this year should be a little bit better than last year. A little more organized, I would say. Hopefully there's more people there to watch. Obviously, there was a hurricane the week before the show. I mean...
Yeah.
But, my biggest, that's getting off track here. I just on top of my head right now. But I enjoy, I'll run for any promoter. I have nothing against anyone. Tim, when I ran Blizzard Bash, Tim was great to me. Sam's awesome to me, great friend. Dustin and Brian Woods with the demo stuff and all us guys, great people. I've never had a concern with them. I've never had an issue. They've always been great. The fact that all these shows are getting so over top of each other and fighting each other and all this crap all the time, it makes you sick, because I feel like the sport could grow if more things got together, what I'm saying, instead of trying to compete with each other. I mean, when I went back to Metal Mayhem Spring Explosion in 2005, you only had that show the whole year to worry about. That was the show. That's why they had 200 fucking cars in one class. I mean, like, that was the show. But now you go on Derby Nation or you look on Facebook, there's a bigger show every weekend. I mean, you're never going to get a car count anymore, you know? And especially when you're talking crap about each other, you're never going to get the sport to thrive ever again like it used to. That's my opinion, but...
Okay, so you just said it. 2025, you guys are going back to Gold Rush as a team with Uncle Kenny on your team, and you're going to go to Bristol.
Yep.
Are you building now?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, you know, originally, we're going back to Bristol, the same team as last year. Me and Tyler obviously are always run together. We were both charter owners together. Cody's obviously a charter owner too, but with Gold Rush all the time, it's hard for him to do both. But we're going to go back with Brandon Myers and Mike Mowry to Bristol. That was the only plan this fall, was Gold Rush, or not Gold Rush, Bristol. Had nothing else to worry about, was just Bristol, which was very less stressful and blah, blah. Madison comes around, had a little bit of an issue at the facility, you know, with the facility and stuff like that, and how the show went and blah, blah. So we were supposed to run in the spring of 2026 at Madison.
Yep.
Okay. 2 weeks after Madison happens, get a phone call from Sam. Hey, mod teams are coming back to Gold Rush this year. Just letting you guys know. Here's all your info, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Obviously, you don't want to quit, because obviously we got a good reputation there now, and we're doing really good there and stuff like that. And it's like, well, that's a month apart again.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do now, you know. And I was going to run my Bristol car at Demo 2, the King, whatever you want to call it. I'm not doing that now, because I probably need to take that apart and start building my other car, which I probably won't do until after the King anyway, but that's just how I am sometimes. So it's like, well, it really actually upset me, just me as myself, just the fact of, like, it's so close together again. It's a lot on one person, you know, and just, like, mentally, it's just so much. And then, like, for the family and stuff like that, it's hard for us to, you know, it's one thing, you know, if you're gone 2-3 days or whatever, but no, every time I got to go to one of these big shows, like Bristol, I got a day or a day and a half of driving just to get there and back, you know, like, it's a lot. And then plus going to Gold Rush now, it's going to be a whole nother week in a couple days. It's just a lot being not home anymore. And, like last year, speaking of last year, I came home from Bristol. My Gold Rush car was legitimately a body and frame laying outside. I built that car in 12 days and got there and obviously made it there. Had bad luck because I broke everything. First time I broke a block in a Kreitlow. But it's just a lot mentally, I mean, and on the family and, you know, stuff like that. I mean, obviously with my own business, I can kind of plan ahead a little bit sometimes, but I don't want to do that, you know?
Yep.
And I was hoping, really, really hoping they weren't back-to-back again. And then it's like even some of those people are going to all three, you know, they're going to Bristol, Gold Rush, and Blizzard Bash. It's like, ow!
Yes.
You know? I mean, obviously they plan a little ahead more than me, you know, but that's still a lot on a person. You're just driving or, you know, stuff like that. But
well, are we gonna?
It'll be good. I got my cars, which that's way ahead of last year. I actually have both cars right now, so that's even farther than last year. So.
Well, I was going to ask you: is that something that you plan on taking? Is it kind of out of the box, or is it kind of your normal what you're used to building?
I always told myself I never ever would get a Rivy again. Because for one, I've ran 7 or 6 of them now, and I figured I'd be the one guy that probably won't find one ever again. But I actually got another one. And I got a Deuce, 2-door, 75 Deuce for Gold Rush and Rivies going to Bristol.
Oh.
Rules are a lot lighter. They're more pro light than pro. I mean, they're mixed a little bit, but they're more pro light this year, which is a lot nicer. We got, hopefully, depending how people interpret the rules, I guess. But there should be no wedge cars in Bristol this year, per the rules, how they were made this year. But Rivy is one of my favorite cars. Like I said, I ran one in 2013. I ran 2017 with one, 2018 with one, 2019 with one, and that's actually my fifth one then.
That's why you're taking a Rivy to Bristol. No wedges.
Yeah, that's just my go-to. I love the way they look. I feel like they're one of the smaller GMs. They're definitely hard. You get around a little better with them, in my opinion. But I just like the look of them more and less. And I'm a big two-door guy. I like my two-doors. But like I said, I didn't think I was going to actually find another one. But my teammate Mike actually helped me out there. Speaking of him, he's actually one of the guys I got to build a car for. So hoping that he decides to build a Rivy too, because I'm going to build both of them identical, I hope. So we'll both be in Rivies, I'm thinking, at Bristol. But we'll see, I guess, what he plans on. When I was there, his dad, Tom, decided that Mike wasn't going to run a wagon, it sounded like. But Mike said he does what he wants, so...
Well, how do people get a hold of you to get said cars built, sir?
You can actually have a Facebook page. It's Hollywood Boulevard. You can either message my page or my phone number is on there, or message me just on Facebook. I have a pretty generic price sheet, on there. I mean, most of the times I've told everyone I'm probably one of the cheaper ones. I feel like everyone tells me I don't make enough doing it, but part of me doesn't do it because I want to be rich. I want to do it because I like doing it and I love doing it, and that's just who I am. And a full turnkey car like a Blizzard Bash or Gold Rush or whatever, I think on there was like $7,500, which most people think is cheap, but some people don't. That's nothing supplied. Only thing I supply is me, my time, my welder, and my welding wire. I'll supply that. But if you need like steel for your cage, stuff like that, usually most people have brought it. And then you bring all your parts and tell me what you need, and I'll go from there. But like that Vic I built for Madison, that was a roller with no motor or tranny, but the cage was all done. I put a fuel cell and a steering column in, and then the whole frame and body was done. That was $4,500 as a roller. But like Cody's car, I'd say like that'd be like a $7,000 bill too. But me and him worked something out on that, so there was really no big price on that one. So.
Sounds like I need to bring a car your direction.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, if stuff starts going up like in the world, obviously I have to maybe
adjust
do a little bit more.
Yeah.
But as of this year, I'm pretty booked for the rest of the year between myself and in case Cody needs something again. And I got a couple cars. Obviously, my Demo 2 cars, the frame's not even done on it yet, so that's nice and good. And then I actually got to help I'll say my adopted son, but he's not really my son, but he helps me all the time. Damien, he's running that futures class at Demo 2 or whatever, and his frame just sitting here with the factory motor on it yet, so that's how good that's going too. But yeah. So.
Well, brother, we appreciate you jumping on with us. Hollywood Boulevard on Facebook. Reach out if you guys want a car built. You just heard his kind of a generic price sheet, and if you can find somebody to build your shit as good as he's going to build it any cheaper, I praise you because that is like unreal pricing. I'm gonna guess your next one up is other than your local stuff. We will see you at Gold Rush, and just get ready for a long ass year, boys.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long year. I'll tell you that. It's yeah. Hopefully I get my motor back from Gold Rush last year because I haven't got that back yet. Yeah, I broke every hole out of the back of the block at Gold Rush. So.
Yuck. Yuck.
So.
Well, let's let this guy get back to his Sunday. And
Okay, I appreciate you guys.
Yep, we will catch you on the next one, sir.
Okay,
Later, Hollywood.
see ya. Bye.
Later, bye.
DerbyNation.tv is your one-stop shop for your Demolition Derby pay-per-view needs. With a schedule like no other, you can catch all the shows you want to watch at the touch of a button from the comfort of your living room without leaving your house. But pay-per-view derbies aren't the only thing that they can get you. You can also carry a monthly subscription to watch the ever-growing Derby Builds, where you get all the behind-the-scenes action on different build processes with the Derby Builds team, including team show cars and even some national level youth builds.
And if you can't make it to that big show in person, go ahead, host that shop watch party, and let DerbyNation.tv bring excitement of Demolition Derby action straight to your shop live on your TV.
Holy shit, that was cheap.
Yeah.
Because as bad as I'm looking at Steven as he's telling us his price list, and I'm like, you
Yeah.
go that direction.
Well,
It's cool to get,
yeah.
because that motherfucker runs everywhere.
Yeah.
We've said that, and then watching his build progression, like I said, from that 2-door caddy, that metric caddy, to what he took to Gold Rush, what he took to Bristol. Dude, his builds are solid as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt. And he's so humble.
Uh-huh.
You talk to him at a show or something, and he's not big
Well,
head.
he's another one of those people that just loves the sport.
Yes. Which we need a lot more of those.
Yes, sir.
He ain't going just to win.
No.
He's going because he loves to do it. So, Hollywood Boulevard, Facebook, guys, light this motherfucker up. Because he's using that to support his habit, to support his build, to support his motors, to
That's
support
why
his
most drug
trans.
dealers start selling drugs.
Don't get high on your own supply. Well, brother man, let's kill this one. We've got Border Wars coming up. Border Wars 2025. We saw half of Missouri last night.
Yep.
Even on the stock two-man team shit. So that will be the next one up, I believe, for DerbyNation.tv.
Yep.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the last week of May. We still got people reaching out, guys. If you want any of our shirts that we have, you can. We don't have to ship those to you. You can get those directly from Triple B's Tees right online. They'll ship that shit right to your door, whether you live in Texas, whether you live in Minnesota, whether you live in Alaska.
Yeah.
They'll hook you up. So, Broadhead decals, we got to get him some. We got to get some stuff sent to Illinois, and then JM Race Engines.
Yes, sir.
So, appreciate you guys. Got any last words?
Nope.
Make junk, boys.